Women's Classic. A nice offensive showing there for the Hawkeyes, shooting 60% in that game. KJ Blackshear at midcourt, ready to take the tip against Tyler Cook for Iowa. Cook wins it, and here come the Hawkeyes.
You'll see primarily man-to-man defense out of Virginia Tech, and they will mix it up. Good ball pressure will be a key on this end of the floor for the Hokies.
Moss, the leading scorer for Bohannon. A dangerous three-point threat as the Hawkeyes look to thread the needle, and a beautiful lay-in from Moss on the cut to the basket.
So you know when you go against that kind of pressure, you have to have back doors, high post entries, dribble entries, because Virginia Tech really wants to up the tempo with their defense.
Foul call just 9 seconds into that possession on the freshman Luka Garza. Very highly prized recruit out of Washington, D.C. Just into the ESPN 100 last year at number 100.
Well, he's a key for Iowa. In their 4 wins this season, he's been in double figures. In the games that they lost in the Cayman Islands, he was in single digits. At 6'11", he has a 7'1" wingspan, Mike. And he is a big key, number 55 in black, the freshman for Iowa. Officials looking at a timing issue with the shot clock.
Just making sure it was at 21 seconds. First of many threes tonight is off the mark from Virginia Tech. A dangerous three-point shooting team with 3 players. Their 3 leading scorers shooting at least 47% from deep.
The offensive numbers for Virginia Tech early in the season are absolutely ridiculous. They lead the nation in scoring, field goal percentage, assisted baskets at 65%. They really move it well, and they share it.
It's a number that Buzz Williams loves to track, is the assists on their field goals. Garza lost the dribble on the outside. Here's Wagner back into the lineup after battling through an injured shoulder that kept him out last game. Bibbs tiptoeing the sideline, coming on the fast break. Now we've got a collision out of the top of the key. 2 players down, 1 for both teams, going for that loose ball. Deb, let's take a look at your do's and don'ts here for Virginia Tech.
Well, for Virginia injury, let's hope this young man will be okay. As soon as we get an update, we'll get it to you.
He's been a vital part of the team so far. This is game number 7, and he started 6 of them with the exception of their game against UAB.
So now they get a little more size on the front line, a little less athletic for Iowa without Wagner on the floor.
Garza looking to feed on the high-low. And the drop-in rolls off the rim for Cook. Hill wanted to push the pace for the Hokies. 28% of their possessions where they score come in transition. This one is a 3 for Alexander Walker. Iowa with the basketball, their do's and don'ts.
Well, for Iowa, their shot selection has to be really good. If it's not good and they take bad shots, it's going to lead to Virginia Tech's transition, and then no live ball turnovers. Right there, that's a dead ball turnover. At least Fran McCaffrey's team can set their defense. And he talked to us today about being organized. He doesn't want to play in transition. They can run, and they rely on their transition game. But they just want to make sure defensively they get a chance to set their schemes against the Hokies.
.51 in black to the top of your screen into the game, and he's got the rebound. Nicholas Bayer getting his first action of the season after missing the first 6 games with a broken pinky. And we got a foul, the ball going the other way. That's on Isaiah Moss.
A great push in transition. Good job getting back. As you take a look at Nicholas Bayer.
And here comes some three-quarter court pressure from Iowa.
I like the extended pressure. Try to make Virginia Tech go deeper into their options, but you got to be careful about opening up the court.
Another good look from 3, doesn't fall, and the Hokies keep their lead at 1. Not great spacing there from Iowa as Virginia Tech traps.
They are going to dig in. They're going to pinch on the post. They're going to try to make Garza give it up.
Good job by Bibbs fronting in the post, taking away the option. Now one-on-one against the sophomore Cook, who spins, fades, and delivers.
Wow.
Soft touch off the glass.
That is a big-time move by the 6'9" sophomore. Last year on the Big Ten all-freshman team. He's got a high motor and plays with it on the glass as well.
High post is a dangerous spot in this offense. Clark leaves it short as he fades away. Lob for Garza inside through the double team. Height advantage. If Iowa can use that, that could be a big difference today.
You know what, Mike? That's a great pass in transition. If you can get early offense, he can get deep penetration inside. 2 feet in the paint is going to be 2 points for the size of Iowa on the front line.
It's Virginia Tech, the team that wants to play quickly, though. Their average possession is about 14 seconds, the 7th fastest in the country coming into this game.
I think Buzz Williams would prefer a little more ball movement, maybe ball reversal than that shot.
Just a couple of dribbles and right to the rim for Bayer, the redshirt junior out of Bettendorf, Iowa. Graham McCaffrey telling us today, really no minute limitations for him, despite not having played in the first 6 games. Maybe 20, 25 minutes for a guy who plays with full exertion every possession. Foul is on Garza. That's a big one because it's the second personal on the big man. Free throws coming when we return. Clark's such a versatile player, and this is a Virginia Tech team that shares the ball so well. You cannot get lulled to sleep on defense.
You know, he doesn't shoot the 3 well right now, but he's shooting it well in practice, and he has twice led this team in assists. Virginia Tech with extended pressure.
Bohannon with the ball, coming off a 30-point performance last time out. Career high for him. Whoa! How about that? Tyler Cook getting up with the left-hand slam.
Well, great recognition on the switch. Justin Robinson got stuck trying to defend Cook on the post.
Cook, the early star. Robinson, the point guard, forcing his way to the basket. And the foul goes against Blackshear. That's his second.
With authority. Great post up. Terrific pass. Too easy for Iowa. I don't feel like Virginia Tech has found their rhythm yet. You know, the way they like to play up and down. And Iowa has done a nice job making baskets so they can get back and set their defense.
I feel like the shots have come a little forced for Virginia Tech so far.
Quick, no ball reversal, not everyone getting a touch.
That's in the one loss that the Hokies have so far. It came against St. Louis. Buzz Williams said the team never found its rhythm. He called timeout, said, hey guys, what are you doing? We are not playing to our identity right now. You may feel that way so far.
Good call from the bench. I like the isolation with Cook. He's a handful for Virginia Tech to defend. He's got size, he's got length.
4 out of 5 players all touched the ball in the first 9 seconds on this possession. And going underneath, that looked like it might have been clean, but the call is a foul on Bayer, his first.
P.J. Horn doing a good job working off the basketball to get open. Good cut to the rim. It looked like ball from here.
But it's another player with size, Bayer at 6'7", who's got an early personal, not 6 minutes into the first half.
Well, and Virginia Tech's a really good free throw shooting team, so they can get in the early bonus. That would be to their advantage.
Virginia Tech trying to trap in the backcourt from the corner. 3 around and out. Tip up and in by Cordell Pemsel, the sophomore from Dubuque, Iowa.
You know what, Mike, in the early part of the season, everything for Virginia Tech's been about tempo. And right now, Iowa's come in here on the road, and they're controlling the game.
What does Virginia Tech need to do to take the tempo back?
I think they need to move the ball better, get better shots. They're taking contested shots, and, you know, Buzz Williams charts everything, and uncontested shots is what you're trying to find, and you can only get that through ball movement and tempo and push.
Bear on corks and a wide three. And when you say Buzz Williams tracks everything, there's the basket for Horn. Today he was listing off numbers to us to the 100th decimal point during practice.
Well, it's important to him. I mean, he is very much an analytic guy, but he also has great feel over there about his team, and they're not getting the kind of stops that he would probably have anticipated they would have started the game with.
Bohannon, pretty good feel on that three-pointer. He's a 50% shooter from three as Bibbs scoops off balance, and Pemsel starts the break for the Hawkeyes. He's got Cook running the floor, and he gets pushed from behind, going up for the lob. Ahmed Hill gets called for his first. Fran McCaffrey, head coach for Iowa since 2010, the Philadelphia native. In his 22nd year as a head coach. Last 6 years has averaged 21 wins a season. Last year a little bit short of expectations going to the NIT.
Well, he's one of 3 teams or coaches in the Big Ten that over the last 5 years has finished in the over 500 in league play. And this is an execution league, the Big Ten. Right now, 7 teams in the Big Ten are shooting better than 50% from the floor. They can really score, and he's a terrific X&O coach. I've enjoyed getting a chance to spend some time studying his team. They've kept Bohannon in check. It's been the interior, the points in the paint, the ability to score inside.
Freshman Alexander Walker out of Toronto leading the break through contact. He takes the bump and gets the call. Lee Cassell, the official, in front of the bench, blowing the whistle, joined by Roger Ayers, Pat Driscoll tonight. And later this evening, 10 Eastern, you can see the Nuggets and the Jazz over on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Iowa's Ryan Kriener called for the foul. His first, and the free throw drops for Alexander Walker, 75% in the early going. Year number 4 for Buzz Williams, who took his team to the NCAA tournament last year, knocked out in the first round, but it has been upward progress for this team year after year under Buzz. NIT a couple years ago, beat Princeton in their first game there, and looking to make it back to the NCAA tournament this year. That's a walk. The freshman Nunji called for the travel.
Now you look at the tempo of this game. Virginia Tech only trails by a possession, really hasn't got their rhythm going offensively. But the one thing they've done very well is put some pressure on the front line of Iowa and pick up some foul trouble on the taller front line for the Hawkeyes.
Certainly that was perceived to be the advantage for Iowa, their height coming into this game. There's the look for Bibbs. He gets the three-pointer.
Maybe the full court pressure will help get their tempo going. Sometimes teams that don't get in the flow early offensively change what they're doing defensively to pick up their rhythm a little bit that way.
Perhaps get some life, defense to offense, get out on the break. Contested look is pure for Bohannon. What a confident shooter.
What a quick release. Really stepped into one. You've got to make sure you come with a long closeout to him.
What was the term that Buzz used? Is a green line guy?
Yeah, a green line. He's got an extended green line. Green light.
Three-pointer the difference here in Blacksburg. Because because he's a shooter who can take those NBA range shots.
Yeah, it's all about their ball screen defense, and you cannot ever go under anything with Bohannon, but he has the extended green line, so where you think drags and step-ups might be outside of his range, think again. He gets the extended green line defensive effort from the Hokies tonight.
Here's Devin Wilson, full-time basketball player this year after taking a year off last year as a redshirt. Not exactly a year off, but started his season with the football program. Clark misses the follow for Horn. But a guy they're happy to have in this program on a full-time basis, number 11 in white on defense.
Justin Bibbs at 6'5" brings a little size to the Bohannon matchup.
Bohannon into the paint. And a follow tip. Nicely done for Nunji, the freshman from Indiana. Finalist for Indiana's Mr. Basketball last year. Won by Chris Wilkes, top 30 recruit in the class of 2017, who went to UCLA.
I'd say early on, Iowa's winning the rim game. You know, they're scoring points in the paint. They're attacking the glass on the offensive end.
And great help defense there by Ellingson to get in front of Bibbs and force the missed shot. Bohannon thought about it. Instead, it's into the hands of Ellingson. Bibbs leading the break on the kick out, and the three is good. The first made triple of the year for Chris Clark.
He's been working on it.
Ties the game at 20. Cook on the high-low, backside stuff. Alexander Walker.
Great read and help side.
Clark's the big man. Don't be mistaken, though. He can lead the break. He grabs the offensive board, right back to it. A little bit too short. Here come the Hawkeyes, 5-on-4. Blocking foul is the call, and the hometown crowd doesn't like it.
You got to referee the defense. Boy, he's outside the restricted area. I thought he was in a legal defensive position. Block charge, hardest call to make, though, Mike. Happens fast.
In the blink of an eye. I'm with you, though. You got to guess off of, watching it in real time where Roger Ayers had to make the call. Legal guarding position, yes or no? Block charge, you could play that clip in front of a room of 100 officials and you would not get consensus.
And run it second by second.
But this is a great crew here tonight. Roger Ayers, Pat Driscoll making the trip over from Charlottesville. Had the Virginia-Wisconsin game last night.
With Jack Nunji at 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan at the point of that press up top. Look at him getting a tip and deflection. He is active, long, got good footwork. He doesn't just run north and south. He's got some lateral movement to him, some quicks, good instincts.
And with the talent of some of these younger players for the Hawkeyes, still, they return 77% of their offense because of how young they were last year. On the 3-on-1. Lob was off the mark for Cook. He was there.
Yeah, that's not going to happen very often for Tyler Cook. You got numbers. Really good pass to him, too.
He takes flight like that. What do you call him? The
Boy,
spirit of St. Louis.
Wow.
Baseline drive. And the foul goes against Nunji with the contact going for the board.
Yeah, I don't know why Pemsel decided to go to the other side of the rim. I thought he could have finished on the strong side. And Justin Robinson trying to split the defense on this end. I just thought that Virginia Tech was a better passing team, and they just have tried to play off the bounce against Iowa.
Horn at the line. That was the 7th team foul against Iowa, with their lead cut to 1. To your point defensively, though, you feel like the Hawkeyes have done a good job getting closeouts, hands in the face of the shooters?
They're gapping. They're showing numbers in the gap. They've got length. That's where your length comes into play, is on the defensive end.
And they've gotten some good looks from their post players as well, even with Garza out of the game with those 2 early fouls. It's a great matchup right here. Oh, my goodness. Tyler Cook just made Chris Clark look invisible.
Can that be a top 10? Can we put our nomination in right now, Mike? Sports Center. Check it out.
Hands up for that one. 24-23. It's been a fun first half so far. 7.5 till the break.
Well, Cook has Hill on him. Another mismatch.
Nunji with the follow off the miss from Pemsel. So the big men, Nunji at 6'11", Pemsel at 6'8", Cook at 6'9", have been taking advantage of the Hokies inside.
All Iowa tempo. Virginia Tech is smaller and quicker. They've got to find a way to make that a factor. They haven't been able to do it yet.
Robinson back outside for Wilson. 10 to shoot for the Hokies. He split the defense, and the foul is on Ellickson.
We're going to put this up for Sports Center. Check it out.
That was a big win at home.
We're still in November. Should we start talking about resume building wins? That's a huge win for Georgia Tech.
Very much so.
Team that missed the NCAA tournament last year. Of course, what an incredible run Chris Collins and Northwestern had into the NCAA tournament last year.
So 26-24 here with Devin Wilson at the free throw line for the Hokies. An all-ACC freshman player in 13-14. Took a red shirt last year.
It's a really small lineup on the floor for Virginia Tech.
Biggest player out there right now is P.J. Horn at 6'5".
See, this is the speed that I'm talking about. I think Buzz Williams is going to take it out for a run right here and see how it goes as Hill sticks one from deep.
Debbie, Tyler Cook took a gamble right there. He said, should I close out or stay back and not worry about getting beat? He chose the latter.
Well,
and they made him pay with a three-pointer.
Hill was 0 for 2 before that triple outside the arc.
However, it came into the game 60% from deep. Scouting report check.
Buzz Williams has 10 guys on his roster that are shooting 50% or better from the floor early in the season. I've never seen that. I know people are going to say, well, their competition, wasn't as tough as maybe some others have played. I don't care about that. I know teams that can't have 10 guys shoot 50% in practice with no defense on them.
You're right. I was going to mention the level of competition, but with nobody out there, that's a hard thing to do. Tomorrow, 7:30, we've got more from the Challenge. Michigan faces number 13 North Carolina, and at 9:30, it's number 1 Duke taking on Indiana as part of the 19th annual Big Ten ACC Challenge. Both of those games on ESPN, also wherever you go on the ESPN app. Close games throughout. This a one-point game as the Hokies have struggled to find their pace at which they like to play. There have been 0 transition buckets in this game so far. Nice take by Horn.
Yeah, and that's what you would call a patient whistle. If that shot goes in, that call might not be made. It was the right call by the official.
Foul on Ahmad Wagner, who had that collision with Blackshear earlier. Came off looking a little woozy. Good to see him back on the floor. 9th foul against the Hawkeyes to just 5 for the Hokies.
Well, the most impressive player on the floor so far tonight has been Tyler Cook for Iowa. Number 5 in black with a big-time motor around the rim. See, Devin Wilson has the matchup with him right now, and he's fronting him in a post.
Wagner, offensive rebound, turns it into a deuce. Robinson looking for the open man. It's Hill once again, and he makes the Hawkeyes pay.
Well, Bohannon went down awkwardly.
Nine on the shot clock. Wilson goes to the floor, and the charge is called against Cook.
But Buzz Williams really trusts Devin Wilson. Watch him move his feet right here. Get a little isolation for Cook. I think he lowered his chest into Wilson, and that's why he was able to draw the offensive foul.
Now, a whistle briefly stopping play. You mentioned Bohannon went to the floor a little bit awkwardly. Roger Ayers, the near side official, just went over to Bohannon. Courtesy checkup, basically, just to make sure he was okay. And Bohannon came up smiling. All things good. Back and forth they've gone. Biggest lead has been 5 for the Hawkeyes. Clark already 1-3 down today. Not a second.
They love that drift pass into the corners. Now, if you have Ahmad Hill in the corner,
give it to him.
Yes.
The way Tech's offense runs, there's always going to be somebody into that corner looking for an open shot. Extra effort. How about it? Here comes the break. Horn on the run. And he slams it. Technical foul on Fran McCaffrey. He just lit up Lee Cassell because he thought there should have been a foul at the other end of the floor.
He's way on the floor in the path of the official. They did extend the coaching box 10 feet up towards the scores table. Point of emphasis this year is trying to stay in the box. Listen, as long as Coach McCaffrey's been coaching, he understood what he was doing there. He wanted a technical foul.
And I think the officials are going to be lenient when a coach is out on the court. The difference is what they say, not necessarily sometimes how far out they are on the court.
I'm sure he had something to say.
So the Hokies now have their largest lead of the game at 4 after the free throws off the technical foul.
Let's see if this energizes the Virginia Tech defense.
And can the Hawkeyes get Isaiah Moss going? Their leading scorer on the year has only got 2 points.
Good defense on Bohannon. You want him to take tough twos, not to stand outside the arc and shoot threes.
Cook with a driving kick. And last touch by the Hokies. Iowa basketball, 3:27 in the first, down by 4.
ESPN's exclusive.
Arguing, he thought Hill was out of bounds.
4. Deep range. Bohannon.
Wow. Automatic. 3 for 3 outside the arc. That's why you got to run them off the three-point line, Mike. You got to make them take tough twos. 70% of the shots that Jordan Bohannon takes are behind the three-point line.
I think they ran him off the three-point line. He might have been closer to midcourt.
That extended green line that we were talking about before. That's why.
Help side stops the drive. Wilson resets. 4 on the shot clock. No foul. Clark hoists a 3. And the rebound saved by Baer. Very good defensive possession for Iowa. Baer, first game of the season today, trying the post feed and didn't have the angle. Turnover and the foul as he reached in on Clark. And it's 2 free throws coming for Chris Clark.
Undersized on the front line, and Chris Clark doing a good job of fronting Tyler Cook in the post, relying on backside help.
Robinson, the point guard for Buzz Williams. Strategy sesh in front of the bench as Clark has another free throw up coming here. A guy coming back after tearing his ACL in his left knee last year against Virginia in February. Missed the last 9 games and the NCAA tournament. Averaged 11 and 7 last year. Coming in tonight, 7 points and a team best 8 rebounds a night.
You look at Clark trying to stay on top of the Cook matchup. Chris Clark, always an extra effort guy for Virginia Tech, and you need that kind of effort when you're defending number 5 in black, Tyler Cook.
And think about the guys he's going to be tasked with defending once they get into conference play. That's going to be a guy who's got to have the motor running at 100% all the time. Hempsel swoops in from the right side to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, really terrific sophomore class for Fran McCaffrey.
A lot of experience for those sophomores last year, playing alongside Peter Jock a lot of the time. Youngest lineup in Iowa history last year. Bibbs just a centimeter or so off. Moss has not looked to score here on these last few possessions, guarded by Bibbs. A shot fake and a shutdown. That wasn't intended for Bohannon. He got underneath it. Oh my goodness, another three-pointer for Jordan Bohannon. Number 3, lighting it up from 3.
Look at the balance of this Iowa offense. To the rim, even though they're not getting the free throw line yet. Outside the arc, that's 4 triples. And I'm telling you right now, I was at practice last night, and I was here today to shoot around. I know Buzz Williams told them about Jordan Bohannon.
Iowa Mr. Basketball and the Gatorade Player of the Year out of Linn-Mar High School, about 45 minutes north of Iowa City. Jordan Bohannon, he comes in with a big reputation and he's living up to it tonight.
You know, Mike, terrific demeanor for a point guard. Has not been rattled by the ball pressure of Virginia Tech, and he's doing his job knocking down triples.
Jobs left unfulfilled on defense for Iowa, letting Horn get an easy look.
Both these coaches very good in the ATO situation after timeouts.
Illegal screen there against Cook, his second personal.
Look where Cook's feet were. They were set outside his shoulders. And that's an emphasis. Again.
Virginia Tech has only registered 2 fast break points in the half. What's the biggest adjustment you think Buzz Williams is going to want to make for the final 20 minutes?
You got to play to your identity at home, and speeding the game up is going to be important. I think they're going to have to do that with their defense.
There's a 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
You mentioned the foul trouble of Luka Garza. He's only played 4 minutes in the first half. He'll be ready in the second.
Big post presence for the Hawkeyes. 8 to shoot. Ball bouncing off the back of Pencil. And a turnover. Now 12 seconds here for the Hokies to try and take the lead into the locker room.
I'm sure Isaiah Moss is going to be able to use the halftime to get readjusted as well, so that he'll be ready in the second half. As you mentioned many times, Mike, their leading scorer.
Alexander Walker, 47% three-point shooter. See what the Hokies design here. Robinson, a drive and a dish taken away by Nunji. Bohannon, a last-second heave. Good if it goes. And out of bounds. 38 all at the half. Hawkeyes and Hokies tied up. Now let's send you to Chris, Jay Will, and Coach Seth in the studio.
Offensive glass to give Virginia Tech one of their offensive rebounds, and then great hustle play right here, getting out ahead of the basketball on the steal with a finish in transition.
Big number from the first half. Iowa, 20 of its 38 points coming in the paint. And now the Hawkeyes get a big weapon back out onto the floor. Luka Garza, who was limited in the first half to all of 4 minutes because of 2 early fouls, gets outboarded there by KJ Blackshear. But Iowa glad to have the sophomore back on the floor.
Same with Virginia Tech getting Blackshear back on the court. He had 2 personal fouls. He only played 3 minutes in the first half.
That was his first field goal attempt of the day. It makes it a 2-point lead.
So, Mike, that's a matchup that we should look for here to see if it can impact the tempo of the game with 2 big guys back on the floor for each respective team.
See if Moss, number 4 in black, who just got rid of it, can get his offensive flow going. Now, big man guard skills for the floater from Cook, who's had a couple thunderous dunks today.
Very impressive. Very good off the bounce. Little mid-range floater.
Robinson. Back iron, another offensive rebound for Blackshear. He feeds down the lane, and Bibbs got stripped, but a foul is called.
Well, look at the impact that Kerry Blackshear has had on the floor. He's talked about the 2 personal fouls. Now he's back on the court. He's got 2 rebounds early in the second half and a bucket already.
Here's Bibbs, who missed the first 2 games of the year, returned for the first time in that loss against St. Louis. Wasn't living up to the standards that Buzz Williams wants to set for this program, so the senior from Dayton missed those first 2 games, but still leading the team 21 points tonight.
Well, and Virginia Tech in the first half had the advantage at the free throw line. They scored 7 more points at the line in the first half.
They're happy to apply some pressure here early, taking 7 seconds for Iowa to get over the midcourt stripe. Foul on the floor. The fight for the rebound.
Well, Iowa didn't recognize the mismatch early, but certainly Garza taking advantage on the glass on the weak side, stuck with the Hill matchup. That's too much for Hill to try to box out on the weak side.
Second foul on Hill, and during that possession, he was chirping on defense, looking for a teammate to come help him and switch and get out of that mismatch. Moss just 2 field goal tries in the first half, 1 for 2. Wagner back to the basket, and now here's that pace that the Hokies want to play with. Robinson sends it back up top. A Blackshear 3.
Whoa, did you see where he grabbed that rebound? He was above the box.
Foul on Robinson for the Hokies.
Watch Tyler Cook. He seemed like he grabbed it above the box. That replay didn't show that he was still on his way up.
He's just shown some explosive ability today, coming off a big 29-point game.
Virginia Tech showing some zone. And then getting back into their man. Now, they talked about at shoot-around showing some possessions where they would show zone, and then on certain passes and certain personnel situations, they would get into their man.
Bibbs, a career 43% three-point shooter, clanking that one. Chicago native Moss doesn't get it. Bounces off of Bibbs' shoulder into the hands of Robinson, who says, let's slow it down.
I don't think I've seen that any time on tape this year. Slow it down.
Bibbs, the drive of the dish, and Blackshear, he could have gone straight up with that, and instead he drew the contact.
It's a great find by Bibbs on the switch. He's recognized the second-level rotation defensively by Iowa and drops it off for Blackshear to be able to get to the line.
Third foul on Iowa's Tyler Cook. Thursday, 7 Eastern, the end of the Big Ten ACC Challenge, and it may be the best game of them all. 5th-ranked Notre Dame and number 3 Michigan State. It's on ESPN, streaming live on the ESPN app. The Spartans are a dangerous group right now with 5 players averaging at least 10 points a game.
How about Mike Bray at Notre Dame with Bonzie Colson, the preseason pick for ACC Player of the Year, and Matt Farrell playing well at the point.
Colson's scored at least 10 in 23 straight. Mike Bray has had the early lead for celebration of the year by a coach. The shirtless locker room celebration. Hokies by 3 with a chance for more. Good look in the corner, triple, and it falls for Justin Bibbs.
Good push and transition, much better acceleration with their ball movement. Good fill behind.
Here's the biggest lead of the game for Virginia Tech.
That's not a set down there. That's a concept that Buzz Williams likes to teach.
Hill runs the floor, gets the bucket, and one for Ahmed Hill.
This is the first skip pass that I have seen from Virginia Tech in transition. And it's a terrific job by Hill to keep his focus on the rim to finish. They really have not had a chance to switch sides of the floor because Iowa has been doing a great job of scoring, mixing up their three-quarter court pressure, and doing a good job of scheming in the half court. They like to throw that skip in transition, but they haven't been able to do it.
10-2 run for the Hokies to make the advantage 8. Bohannon, 15-footer, leaves it short. You just got anybody on the floor for Virginia Tech who can start this break, and anybody who can finish it. It just happens to be Justin Bibbs. Fran McCaffrey not pleased. Timeout, Iowa. Fran McCaffrey impacted by cancer and very active in the fight against it as well.
Coach McCaffrey had always done his part, and then it hit home when his son Patrick, who was a 7th grader at the time, developed thyroid cancer. Patrick's now 6'8" and doing great, and is signed to play with his older brother Connor, who's not with the team. They both are Iowa basketball players. Connor's home with mono. We wish him well so he can get with the team soon.
Nunji off of the top of the key shot. If you're flying over the table, because there's about a 2-foot high cement wall behind that, and not a very soft landing. But he's all right, back on the floor, holding down the Iowa front court with the freshman Jack Nunji.
I think Nunji has provided some quality minutes. Zone off the timeout by Fran McCaffrey's team.
Bibbs aggressive with the take. Draws the foul.
You know, Iowa's synergy number on defense is 60% of the time they're in a zone, and 40% they play man. Well, we've only seen a few possessions of zone tonight.
And they've mixed it up, whether it's been 2-3 or 1-3-1 or just straight up man-to-man. Trying to find a good mix, and Fran McCaffrey didn't seem to indicate that there was any particular group or defensive look that he had been pleased with so far in the early going for his team, out to a 4-2 record.
Well, I think that will change now that Nicholas Baer is back and not limited with minutes. In his first appearance this season, in the regular season. Number 51 in black at the top of the key.
Coming off a broken pinky in his left hand that's still taped up. Foul against Virginia Tech. That's on Bibbs, his first, with the Hawkeyes just looking to get something to drop through the hoop here. Their last bucket came at the 19-11 mark. Here we are, 14:36 left in the second half. Wilson back onto the floor for Tech as Ahmed Hill gets a breather.
Well, Justin Robinson has done a terrific job in the matchup with Justin Bohannon. They're just switching on him right now, keeping good ball pressure on their point guard for Iowa. That was a great defensive effort by Wilson. See, they're face guarding Bohannon, which means you're in a no-help situation. You're trying to deny him the catch. Once he gives it up, you don't want to let him get it back.
Alexander Walker picks up the foul. They're trying to run him off of flare screens out there just to try to get him an open look from three after he went 4 for 4 from deep in the first.
And see, even Devin Wilson got over the top of that last flare. That's why Bohannon was not open.
I thought you asked Buzz Williams a pretty funny question earlier today. He said, if anybody runs under a screen on a shooter, how quickly are they coming out of the game? They know.
You got to have high hands on Bohannon.
10 to shoot. Nunji can take a three. Kick to the corner. Good look. Out of bounds. And the basketball belongs to the Hokies.
See, I thought that was a good look for Iowa. They got the ball to the middle of the defense. Kick to the corner for a three.
Most dangerous spot for the ball to be for Iowa is when it gets right into the nail at the free throw line. Robinson shaking a score.
Mr. Bohannon ended up on his seat. The quickness of Justin Robinson.
Pemsel draws the double team. Pass deflected on the way to Bohannon. Macy Daly had it poked away. Robinson was looking for a full court heave. Still full speed down the floor. Hill takes the bump with the right hand. Doesn't get it. Second chance. Doesn't drop either. Baer wants 94 feet. Blackshear says no, but it's out of bounds off the Virginia Tech sophomore.
You know, Barry trying to go 1-on-4. Look at this crossover to the rim. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Okay, can we put that one in the Sports Center too?
We got two nominees tonight. Robinson, #1, and a Tyler Cook dunk from the first half. Nice big round of applause for Robinson as he goes to the bench.
Buzz Williams keeping a fresh body, rotating different players on Bohannon.
Cook just missed out on another highlight reel dunk. Bibbs sees a size mismatch. Hokies come up empty. Cook wants to go through two defenders. Fouled on his way up. Devin Wilson with his first. 5 fouls on the Hokies and 4 on the Hawkeyes.
The push and the pace and what I like to call the race to the space has been better for Virginia Tech in this second half. They are really trying to play downhill.
Significantly altered. Tomorrow, more of the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Michigan and number 13 North Carolina taking a drop in the AP poll out yesterday. And then at 9:30, unanimous number 1 Duke takes on Indiana. The 19th annual Big Ten ACC Challenge continues on ESPN. Missed opportunity for second chance points. Clark, a capable scorer from just about anywhere. Hill gets right to the basket, just slicing with ease through the defense.
Nice, going to their cutting game. So while Bohannon is 4 for 4 outside the arc, he's 0 for 4 inside the arc.
Here's Clark.
Remember we talked about the athleticism of Virginia Tech had to become a factor? Well, it's a factor right now.
Hill on the break. Timeout Iowa as the Hokies have taken over in the second half. It's 60-41. This one's getting out of reach. Game has gotten going.
The floor is tilted to their side offensively. They're holding Iowa to 1 for 16 in the second half from the floor. So Iowa can't score. They can't set their D. They've been playing in transition, and that's Virginia Tech's game.
Mike Cousins, Debbie Antonelli with you here from Blacksburg, Virginia, Castle Coliseum on night number 2 of the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Virginia Tech is 5-1, comes in averaging 102 points a game. Iowa at 4-2. First Power 5 opponent of the year for Iowa. And for the Hokies, their second, the first being Washington. Bohannon gets a good look from 3. Here comes a third chance. Cook makes him pay.
I thought that was good execution off the timeout. I counted 4 ball reversals, even though they got deep into the shot clock, but they got 2 offensive rebounds. Now they can play in the quarter court defensively with a zone.
Hill wants 3. Just a hand in the face can make all the difference. Ball wasn't tipped, and it's going the other way for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the ball got stuck on that possession. So for Coach McCaffrey, you come off the timeout, you switch sides of the floor, everybody gets a touch. The next time down, looked like Jack Nunge was just dribbling and going nowhere.
Justin Robinson, the usual point for Virginia Tech, getting a nice break here. Devin Wilson has done a good job getting them into their offense. Hill missing from the corner as Wilson steps up to stop Bohannon.
He was the first player out to warm up pregame, and that's all the shots he took were in the corner. A lot of them.
The freshman Alexander Walker lowers the shoulder and gets rejected by Cook. Pepsel with a shovel back. Bohannon. The three-pointer has not fallen in the second as it did in the first for Bohannon. Good thought there from Clark to try and find a three-point shooter.
Yeah, that's knowing your personnel. A better three-point shooter than Clark right now. Twice he's led the team in assists, Clark has. And it doesn't matter who Buzz Williams puts in the middle of that defense. That's a playmaking spot right there around the ACC. He can flash different personnel in there, and they're all capable of going off the bounce, hitting the 15-footer, or making a play.
Watching the defense on that last possession, with the pace that the Hokies have played in the second half, it looks like the Hawkeyes are a little bit gasping for breath. Just trying to keep up and down the floor.
I think it's frustrating, put a lot of pressure on their offense because they couldn't score. So if you couldn't score, then you're going to be playing in transition against Virginia Tech. I thought their first half they did a terrific job because they shot 52%, did Fran McCaffrey's team. Put a lot of pressure on Buzz Williams' defense.
I'm trying to think, have there been any Virginia Tech free throws that have hit the rim tonight?
We missed a couple.
Foul is on the floor. Third on Blackshear. They're one away from the bonus. 6 Hokie fouls. And Robinson relieves Hill. Comes in, draws a tough defensive assignment, and look what he does. He shakes the leading scorer for Iowa.
Justin Robinson fought over the top of 2 screens and had terrific ball pressure. You look at Justin Robinson, he's listed at 6'2". I'm not sure he's that tall. What a terrific job bringing the pressure defensively.
They have turned off the spigot of scoring for Isaiah Moss, coming in at 16 points a game, holding him to just 1 for 5 from the floor.
That time Blackshear flashes to the logo area to make a play, finds an open shooter in the corner.
It's got to be taxing on opposing defenses to have to be able to guard an offense that's so fluid position-wise. Clark hard charging down the lane. Blocking foul.
When you go tonight and look at the stat sheet when this game is over, you're not going to see a lot of numbers on the right side of the box score for Justin Robinson for Virginia Tech, but he has made significant plays in the second half. He's defended Jordan Bohannon. He's helped get Virginia Tech up tempo. And I think he's had a significant impact in the second half, and Blackshear as well. You know, only playing 3 minutes in the first half with those 2 personal fouls. First 2 possessions of the second half were Blackshear at the rim, offensive rebounding and scoring on the first possession.
2 guys taking on bigger roles this year. Blackshear, who didn't play last year because of shin and ankle injuries, and Robinson started every game last year, an increased role for him.
Really good D by Chris Clark.
He stonewalled Cook, and Robinson with a 94-feet offense. Whistle stops play with Blackshear slow to get up. Hokies cruising at home.
Bohannon scoreless in the second half after 12 first half points. And Tyler Cook only has scored 5 points here in the second half for Iowa.
Big Ten ACC Challenge. The Big Ten getting its first win earlier today after things got rolling last night, with Purdue picking up a 66-57 win over Louisville at Mackey Arena.
High percentage look off the timeout.
It's Wilson on the baseline.
Well, that's a tough pass.
Tried the wraparound shovel feed for Horn.
You had the corner and you had the wing. After from the drift.
Cook reaching foul on Robinson, his second. One-on-one coming here. Are the Hokies going to be as concerned with pace? They've got a comfortable advantage here.
I think you have to play your identity. It's November. You've got to keep pushing. I don't think there's any letting off the gas at all, if you will. I don't know if that's in the DNA of a Buzz Williams team. You know, I see the game through an offensive lens, but I think it was the defensive effort in the second half that turned the tone for Virginia Tech. They really D'd up, and they did a terrific job with ball pressure on Jordan Bohannon, and he certainly runs the show for Fran McCaffery.
They gave up a lot of uncharacteristic open looks, especially at the basket for Cook in that first half. Cook missing the free throw there, but he's got all of the Hawkeyes' points here in the second half.
You know, Garza got in early foul trouble, only played 4 minutes in the first half. You know, he's a young guy that's going to learn from an experience of playing here against smaller and quicker.
Bibbs with a laser focus on Bohannon. 15 on the shot clock for Iowa. Nobody's really been open on this possession just yet. Got to get a shot with 2. Cook, a long-armed rebound. 1 dribble. Iowa continues to get unfriendly bounces. Bibbs on a beautiful feed from a fading Hill. And they make transition look easy here in Blacksburg.
Well, they have really gotten in a stance.
That was unfortunate there for Chris Clark. He's running down the sideline. Pat Driscoll's in the same real estate.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things that has not gone the Hokies' way in the second half. How about this for a difference maker, too?
You know, if the ball had hit Pat Driscoll, it would be in play if he was in bounds.
The difference between passing out of double teams tonight, and Iowa has struggled with that. Just a 2-on-2. Who's got more? Hill gets the foul. He'll take 2 free throws.
Remember I talked about the tilt of the floor? That's what I'm talking about right here. Hill, another aggressive attack off the bounce in transition.
Number 13 has 13 points. He's got good company for players with at least a dozen on his squad tonight. P.J. Horn, granted in game number 7 of his college career with a new high, a dozen for him. Chris Clark has 12. In a well-rounded game, a couple of steals as well. Bibbs has 14, and now Hill has 15.
8 second half points for Iowa. That's Cook just trying to hold his position at the front of the rim. Just didn't get a good handle on it.
Came up grabbing his hamstring, and it's Bayer who comes in for him. Garza back on the floor as well. I think one of the questions we both had coming into this game was, would Virginia Tech be able to keep up its torrid scoring pace, 102 points a game? They're not going to break the century mark here tonight with the level of competition going up a little bit. Blackshear gets the reverse layup.
No, but there will be nights where other teams will have to score with them.
Macy Daly cuts and scores. A one-time Rutgers commit. Sophomore out of Beechwood, Ohio. Hill, corner three.
That's the corner three that I was talking about.
75-48 Virginia Tech with 4.5 to go.
Little step-up screen. Wow. See, that's the kind of night it's been for Iowa.
It's been a lid on the basket.
Well, that's the kind of second half anyway.
First half was good. It was even at 38. And it's been 10 points in 16 minutes for the Hawkeyes. Hill with another look, late closeout. Tech is 7 of 24 from three-point range tonight. That's uncharacteristic for them. And as you talked about, there's going to be nights where they really ramp up the scoring. That's the challenge in having to defend them, is knowing who you got. Is he a shooter? Can you close in time? 5
playmakers, unselfish, willing to share, looking for the highest percentage shot.
Blackshear easily split the double team in the corner. Grabs a loose ball, but he walked with it. 3:22 left to go from Castle Coliseum. A test December 16th at Rupp Arena on ESPN2 against Kentucky.
Buzz Williams and his team practiced last night from 8 to 10 p.m. And it was clear and concise, and it was a repetition, as Daly dunks off the timeout, about what he wants in his system, in his culture, and everyone is connected. It was 2 hours of entertainment for me. I loved it.
We talked about that while we were sitting and watching the shoot-around today. How different, can you give a picture for people, how different are his practices from other coaches?
There is no wasted movement. Everyone is engaged and involved. Each member of the staff has a teaching component for preparation for game day. All the players understand the lingo, the language. They are very good at listening and focused on what Coach Williams is asking them to do.
You know, there is a language.
There's clearly a language. You know, everybody has their own lingo. But colors on the defense, they have different colors for slips.
Different animals.
Different animals.
It's just fun to listen to try and decode everything. P.J. Horn adds to his tally, now 14 for the freshman out of Georgia.
There is a certain connectedness and locked in by every player when Coach Williams is teaching.
And an interactivity, too. There's lots of back and forth questions.
Well, Devin Wilson, Coach Williams will tell you, you know, he talks the most. He's the smartest player, wants to be a coach one day. You know, he treats his system in some ways like offense, defense, special teams would be the equivalent of dead ball situational offense, whether it's out of bounds, sideline, baseline, after timeouts. And Devin Wilson will be in on the defensive part of that. He considers that to be a very big part of what he does. They break it down to the details.
Senior on the team, former member of the football squad as well. Is anybody who's had to learn a lot of terminology and handle it well? You can certainly look to Devin Wilson.
There'll be a lot of nights that Virginia Tech will get beat on the glass because they won't have a 5-player that is a 7-footer with great wingspan. You know, their 5-player, 6'10", Kerry Blackshear, he's very good around the rim. But they'll make up for it in other ways with their ball pressure, their length on the edge, their ability to play with pace.
And their depth, which has not always been there during Coach Williams' tenure. Wabisa Beatty, number 3 in white for Virginia Tech, defending here in the corner coming into the game. The standout freshman ranked 73rd in the incoming freshman class this year at a Cushing Academy in northern Massachusetts. Buzz Williams calling a timeout, saying, hey, we don't need the huddle. We just want to get some more guys on the floor. Coming up later tonight on SportsCenter, LeBron does something he's never done before. Early reaction to that. Eli Manning benched for the Giants and the new college football playoff rankings as well. An explanation, a breakdown from Kirk Herbstreit. SportsCenter with Neil Everett, Stan Verrett after Nuggets Jazz over on ESPN and the ESPN app. So we got a minute left here. We got a game that's decided. The Giants deciding to bench Eli Manning. How often in the world, in any capacity for anything, can a team get everyone angry, and yet the Giants found a way to do it today?
Heartbreaking, honestly.
Who doesn't love some late game bench scoring opportunities? Now to 35 ticks here. Garza's still working hard.
One basket in the game for Garza.
Tyree Jackson, younger brother of Todrick, who scored the game winner today for Georgia Tech, and it's left to Beatty here to dribble things out. This game was tied at 38 at halftime. The second half belonged to the Hokies, as does the final tally. Virginia Tech going to 6-1. And the Hawkeyes will drop to 4-3. Basket no good. 1.4 the difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
What a second half, and what a terrific job adjusting by Buzz Williams' team after we were all tied up at the break. Terrific job. The tempo swung his way. The defensive effort from Buzz Williams and his club. He's got to be pleased with breaking down the